Hello, this is a prepaid call from
William Pryor.
an inmate at the Cobb County Adult Detention Facility.
To accept this, your current balance is $1.19. This call is from a correction facility and is subject to monitoring and recording.
Thank you for using Global Tellink.
How you doing today?
Hello?
Sound like you're in that go-kart.
I got to put money on here. It's only $1 on here. I got to put money on the phone. So it's going to cut off shortly.
I'll call you back later.
Now you talk till it run out because I'm driving. And I'm on my way to his house. How are you?
That made me feel good.
Right. Oh, boy, ain't doing anything yet. Per his usual.
I understand. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't going to do nothing. Yeah, they ain't doing nothing. I told you I sent them something. Yeah. Stand still.
He need to get off so that somebody can get on and move that forward. That's the thing. Get off so somebody can move forward with the case because he's not going to do anything but babysit.
Yeah. That's fine. That's sad, ain't it?
Right. Just get off. You want off? Get off.
Yeah. Okay then. So I guess it's working. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. How you feeling?
I feel fine. I went out last night. Me and Madison, and it was a fun time, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Well, with a little bit of a hangover, but only had a Malibu rum and pineapple.
Well, when did y'all gonna get crunk up again?
I did it yesterday.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah.
Good,
Yeah.
bad?
Yeah. I mean, it was mixed as usual. You know, people want to talk, they talk, and then you get people, saying,
I get it.
yeah.
You're always gonna have that. That's what keeps the show going.
Right. You got a handful of people that's like, oh, he did it, and then, you're dumb, this, that, and the other. And then you got some that be like, saying the opposite stuff, keep head up. A couple people ask for your address so they can write you.
What?
Yeah. So that could go either way. Either it could be something nice or it could be something evil. But the one guy, he was nice. There was another guy that was nice,
Oh.
So, yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it could go either.
Eva got to keep going, don't it?
Yeah. Come on, baby.
I was just watching Robin Hood. Robin Hood did all
Oh,
that.
were you?
Yeah, Robin Hood did all that saving, but at the end of the day, a hater just.
Yep, that's exactly.
Because they can't do what that other person do. Yeah.
Right. That is exactly right. And that's what's so crazy. But, like I say, you can put a spin on any situation and make it good or bad. And that's what it is. They put a bad spin on a situation and try to turn it into something bad.
Yeah. That is true now. That is true. That is true.
And this is people that don't think outside their little boxes because, if you think about everything, like I said, I don't know, your side. You can't say your side until you go to court. But just looking at the, what's written down and what the courts are saying, it could still, like that whole thing with that guy, you could still have another version of that, the same situation, and it be totally innocent. And that's how I look at it, and to say, oh, all that, with that 10 months with that girl, oh, what a scam. I'm like, that's a whole lot of work for that little bit of money. With the bills they got, that shit is not a scam. Like, if you trying to do a scam is in and out for 10, 20, 30, 40,000, $50,000. You see that ad with that chick, that lawyer, Atlanta attorney? She did a PCP for like $7 million, and they just, she just got either sentenced or arrested on it. She's a Atlanta attorney. She works for Atlanta. But she works in Atlanta. Sonya too. Black chick.
They didn't show that on TV.
Yeah, it's on Instagram.
Yeah.
Oh, no, she didn't do that.
You have 1 minute remaining.
I seen that girl got a life sentence yesterday out of Kuwait County for stabbing her boyfriend in self-defense. Yeah, I saw that yesterday on TV. That shit had me looking crazy.
What?
Yeah, man, this shit sad out there. Yeah.
Yeah, because they go to court and the prosecutor can make anything look bad, and then they believe it because you got closed-minded people on the jury. And they just go along thinking the state is right because the state is the government. The government's not going to do us wrong.
So is there more people looking at what you got going on?
Yeah. Call me at 5:00. I'll be there tomorrow.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Call me around after 5. I'm just gonna pick this up and leave. I'm not gonna be here long.
Okay. All right then. Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna keep the positive. We're gonna keep the positives going. We're gonna keep this positive.
Thank you for using Global Tellink. Hello, this is a prepaid call from
William Pryor.
an inmate at the Cobb County Adult Detention Facility.
To accept this call, your current balance is $27.32. This call is from a correction facility and is subject to monitoring and recording.
Thank you for using Global Tellink.
Hello.
Yeah. How was your day today?
It was fine. I ran an errand. I picked up so I had bought some stuff and they delivered it to the wrong house.
Okay.
And the neighbor, she texted me like around 11 o'clock last night and told me they had my package. So when they brought it to me this morning, which was nice of them. Yeah, it was nice. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of, I'm like, what? They said it was delivered. Katie was like, no, it's not. There's nothing outside. I'm like, ooh, I hate my EPS dude. Or girl, whoever it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so going to
you
a photo shoot in the morning.
a photo shoot?
Not for me. For Madison. She's, for her, it's her first photo shoot. Because, she signed a Sony. She signed a Sony record, so I'm going with her tomorrow to the photo shoot.
Oh, okay.
Because I was telling her, because I have something scheduled with you, so I was like.
You got what?
But it's early. It's early tomorrow where it won't, mess up my visit, so.
You say, why not the girl to your level?
No, I didn't say that. I said I didn't want it to interrupt, my visit for tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's early. It's 12 o'clock, so.
Oh, okay. I heard you.
So I should be, that.
They're trying to get you a nap. That's what it sounds like.
No, so I kind of fell asleep on the couch watching Girlfriends.
Oh.
So I was trying to take it easy today, not, do too much. So,
Did you get past more than 300? Why you mad? Sound like it is.
Hold on, let me see.
What are your crystal balls saying? Let me hear your crystal ball.
My crystal ball. Baby coming home.
Okay.
2,300 views.
That was yesterday?
Yesterday so far, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, 81,000 views total.
Okay.
For everything. Yeah.
Sound like you're climbing.
Yeah. Yeah. Climbing on the hate chart. The hate is real.
Damn.
The hate is real. Well, you know what?
Sounds like it should have been a calm down. It's holiday.
Well, I think because the narrative kept going the way it was going for so long with nobody saying anything, everybody was just going with what the bloggers were saying. You know, all the negativity and how they were trying to pick the situation and say this, that, and the other. And what's so crazy about everything is apparently everybody forgot what happened back in March when it first came out, and everybody was just going in on the wife and calling her all this, that, and the other, and making her like feel like, you know,
right,
she was on something, you know what I'm saying, trying to blame it on her. Still wasn't blaming you, they were blaming you for the criminal activity. But as far as the relationship going and all that stuff, they were just making her look bad and not the person they thought was the other woman. You know what I'm saying? They said little of anything about Erica, right? When they brought it thinking it was Erica. But then, so now they're trying to say, oh, it's your fault. They're not together anymore. Trying to say my fault. And I'm sitting here like,
man, you can't be this
how was it my fault? You know, because, you know, that you sound stupid thinking that shit. I was like, wow. You know, that's all the bloggers keeping that shit out there. They could have talked about anything but the relationship. They could have just, you know, talked about the case. They want to talk about the case or talk about you, but they kept dragging her because they want to drag Steve.
Right.
You know, so they want to drag Steve so bad because they hate the fact that this man is successful. This man is paid. This man's got a beautiful wife. You know, when they're out in public, they look like everything is perfect. When real life, no matter what kind of money you got and how cute anybody is, everybody, you know, clashes here and there. That's just, you know, real life, you know. But because, you know, they want to hate and try to destroy him, which is just, this is why they do what they do, is to try to destroy him, you know. And he ain't did nothing to these people, but they just keep at it. They want to just. So now you're trying to say, oh, poor her now. Y'all should have thought poor her in the very beginning when all of this went down. Like, y'all was just adamant to talk about her so badly, you know, and until she was distraught, and now it's your fault, Sonya. No, the fuck it's not. It's not my fault. It's y'all's fault. I ain't said one bad word about her. I didn't put this out here. I didn't jeopardize her job. I wasn't trying to interfere in their relationship. I was over in the corner in Florida minding my damn business. Staying out the way. So what the fuck are y'all talking about?
Wait a minute. That's just some shit that on your thing they talk to you about. Correct.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it spills over from their shit. It's still, I don't even watch the other people's channel. I don't even go over there and look at on what they're saying. I don't even do that because it's all negative. You know, for the most part, it's all, they don't know what they're fucking talking about. A lot of it's just guessing, like when prosecutors are in court trying to guess what happened. It's the same thing. They trying to sit here and try to guess. They try to listen to a phone call and say, okay, so what they really mean is this. And, you know, the one girl said last night, they're going to subpoena me, Lamont, and Dion, trying to say, you know, it's everybody in cahoots with some shit. I'm like, well, where's the crime at, you dumbass? Because all his charges is him and on some date shit, other than the other chick, you know, the business partner out of state. So how are Lamont and all of us supposed to be involved and him and some chick that said she, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't even make sense what y'all fucking talking about, because she ain't mentioned she met anybody. So what are you even talking about? Like, y'all sound real stupid, and I tell them, quit playing with people's freedom. Quit saying shit out your mouth, you know? If you don't know what it is, then don't say anything. The only person that can speak on it is two people involved, which is him and the person that's making the complaint. Everybody else just has to fuck up. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. That's the only people that can talk. He spoke first. He ain't said nothing. He gonna talk when he go to court. That's how that goes. Well, if you're not supposed to say shit till you get until your lawyer's in front of you. You're not supposed to talk to the police about shit. Even if you get pulled over for a ticket, you're not supposed to say anything. The lawyer will tell you, don't say nothing to the police, period. I want a lawyer. Anything past license, registration, you're not supposed to say, did you know how fast you were going? And you're supposed to say speed limit. They tell you, don't say, I was going 80.
They're talking to you like you're a lawyer.
Listen. Only thing I say to them, I said the only thing I can say is I can say what the warrant reads and my opinion of what the warrant reads. I said, because other than that, I don't know what's going on. He can't talk. So other than that, I can't say shit because I wasn't there. I can only speak on what the warrant is saying and how I feel about the warrant, how it doesn't make sense. And how, if he's trying to say this, that, and the other, where's the supporting evidence? How come he has not been indicted? What are we waiting on? You know, if y'all so gun-ho at this one little statement leads to all of this other stuff, you know, then what it is? What is it? Where's it at? You know? And then when she reported the car back in June. Back in June, how come she didn't report everything? Because everything she's talking about happened before June. So why didn't she go to South Fulton and report it all? If everything she's stating is a crime, I said it's not a crime. It's a civil issue. If you believe what she said, and that's not talking about what his side of the story is. If you believe what she's saying, then it's civil, flat out. But we don't know his side of the story. You don't know what the conversation was, on what exactly happened, what the agreement. We don't know. You only know what she's saying. And it's a part two to the situation. So until we go to court and he go to trial on all of this, we can't say anything. You could say that's her story and that's what it is. But at the same time, you got to understand how was her emotion at the time, because she thought the dude just up and stopped talking to her and left her high and dry. So she was in her feelings. She was seeing him for a long time. He's a very likable man. So if she was emotionally, you know, involved with him and thought that he just up and stopped speaking to her, then she could have been feeling some type of way when she was, you know, and over-exaggerated the situation because she mad, like most women do. So we don't know. We don't know, you know. Not taken away from anybody, but we don't know. Right now, it's just half the story out. And yeah, so y'all can't say nobody knows nothing until the whole story's out. And quit speaking on it. We'll figure out everything when we go to trial.
So how did your fund me go?
Who go?
Your fund me.
Oh, earlier I checked there was 5 on there. Somebody got 5 on it.
You
got 5 on it. I got 5 on it.
man. Yeah.
I excited as hell. Hold on, I got to look and see where it's at, because it's in there in the face there. Yeah, I know.
They probably dogged that out too.
Well, I got a lot of people that went to the Instagram and followed on the Instagram page. But no, you know, the thing of it is I just wanted people to have an open mind and understand what exactly goes on. Because people don't understand how the legal system is and how it works and how foul it is and how it's just like the land of the free. We're not free over here. They do a new bill and a new law every day saying we can't do this, we can't do that, we can't do this, we can't do that. That's not freedom. Come up with a new law for everything and every day, and now, you know what I'm saying, there's no freedom over here. It's just wordplay. They just say it out loud, and we're supposed to believe that this is the land of the free and opportunity. There's no opportunity unless you're white and Jewish. It's not opportunity for all. It's pick and choose who we like.
That's true.
It is. And just like this one prosecutor, okay, so she was a prosecutor, and then she was she's a criminal defense attorney now. And she went in, my friend had posted it today. She went in on the whole system, how it's rigged, how when they go in front of the grand jury, it's one-sided, that the defense can appear, but they can't say anything. It's whatever the prosecutor want to say and twist to make those charges stick so they can get an indictment. and that is filed. It should be an argument between both parties to argue both, situations, and then the grand jury should vote on if there's enough for us to charge. It should never be no one-sided situation because the prosecutor only has one goal, and that's to indict whether a person in most cases are guilty or innocent, and that's what they need to realize. It's not even about innocence or guilty. It's just about sticking it to somebody. If it was about that, then it'd be okay, no problem. If prosecutors played fair, it'd be no problem. But they don't.
She put that out there today?
I saw it today, yeah. I saw it today. Yeah, that shit is crazy. She was pissed. But, she should have known that as a prosecutor. How they move. But that's how a lot of prosecutors end up being defense attorneys because they can't take how crooked the prosecution office is. And this is what's so odd to me. Fannie, what's her name? Fannie Mae? What's Fannie? Fannie T? What's the prosecutor name? Fannie whatever?
Something like that.
Right. Her father was a Black Panther. So it's real weird to me that she would work in the prosecutor's office, being that prosecutors go after Black people wrongfully more than any other race. And you was raised by your dad, and your dad was a Black Panther, and he was everything Black, and which most Black Panthers was against government because government was built, to destroy us, not to support us, not to help us, but to destroy Black people, especially any Black person that's considered to be strong out here. And that's what's so crazy, My father raised me. My mother was there, but I don't remember. She didn't say much of nothing. And I think that's why, let me tell you, and I think this is why I am the way I am. Because my mother never said not one bad thing about women when I was growing up. She was never one of them bitter Black women that said anything ill about a female. So we grew up being very positive towards females. We always like you first, you know what I'm saying? Whether you prettier than me, not pretty, whatever you are, thinner, better, whatever, I always love you first. You know what I'm saying? I never had that female issue like a lot of these females have. And a lot of it, I think, is passed down from the bitter-ass mamas, that sit around the house and complain and say shit, and the kids just pick it up and go with it. Because this is what I, watched, learned, and how, my mom was. So I thank my mother for never being that person. She didn't say pretty much nothing, really. She was just there in the house. My dad did all the talking about everything, about life and men and, work for yourself and this, that, and the other. And, he was always the person in my ear and never trust white people. He was just like, on everything, And I used to be like, all right, Dad. So it's just weird that she's not more of an activist person or a defense attorney, that she went prosecution, because everybody knows prosecutors don't give a fuck about Black people. None of them. The whole system was created after slavery to destroy us, to enslave us in some sort of way, or disqualify us to be out here fairly surviving. Because, one chick tried to say, because we were talking about how the prosecutor kept trying to say you were violent. She was trying to say, oh, we got an aggravated robbery conviction. Aggravated robbery. That's violent. And I was like, okay, so let me explain law to you since you know so much. First of all, he was young, he took a plea. That doesn't mean he did it. You take a plea, that doesn't mean he did it. That means they either scared you into it and told you you're looking at 30, but if you take this 10, you'll be 30 years old by the time you get out. If you know law, how they think.
Exactly what happened.
I said, he could have been with somebody who he had no idea was about to do something fucking reckless. And they did it. Because my ex was like that. My ex went out with his friend. And I told him, stay away from that dude. You're going to get caught up. Oh, no, that's my boy. He loved me. I'm like, you're going to get caught up. Not even 2 months later, his mom came in town. He's in jail. What happened? That same dude I told him about told him, ride with me over here. I got to pick up some money this dude owed me. So he's thinking they're going over somebody's house because somebody owes them money. That dude went over there to rob some white boys. And because he was there, he caught the aggravated robbery. He's sitting there standing there looking dumbfounded like, what the fuck is going on? Thinking, we're over here to pick up something. The guy called you and said, come pick up. He didn't know he was going to strong arm the dude, beat his ass, and try to take what was owed to him. You know, he thinking the dude said, come on, I got you, come get this, you know? Caught that case, right? I was like, so you don't know the circumstances, because the circumstances around the conviction and the circumstances around the court hearing is everything. I can get a murder conviction and never kill a person in my life. Two ways. Either I'm innocent and they got me guilty on some lies, or I could have been out with somebody and they killed somebody and I just happened to be there and I got caught up in the shit. So you can get a charge and not be responsible for the charge. That's how this fucking system works. There's no justice in the justice system. Because that is justice. It's just so you don't know.
Yeah, I see that all the time, every day.
You don't know that. That's why you got to speak when you go to court. You got to talk. You got to talk. So get your talk up. And you don't have to sound anything but sincere and truthful. That's it. You're going to have to talk. And speak on that first. Get that out. Whatever happened 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, you know, that's that. That was the past. You know? It is what it is. Whatever, dumb, young and dumb, whatever. Didn't know no better, whatever. Or, you know, however, you know, because you never told me the story, but just, you know, and I was telling them, like, y'all need to stop thinking that. The circumstances around everything. That's why until somebody sits there and say, I actually did that shit, and this is how I went in there, and da-da-da-da-da, I always side-eye everything because there's always more to it. And if you're not involved in criminal justice, you don't know. You just know the headline, and that's it. And you just go on with the headline. Convicted of murder. Convicted of this. Convicted of that. And you just write and say, oh, he did that shit. No, that doesn't mean he did that shit. That can mean he got scared and didn't go to trial because he was looking at death penalty, and he decided to take life instead of a death penalty. And everything was stacked against him. He got scared. He didn't know, you know, da-da-da-da-da. And so he took the plea. So it doesn't necessarily mean.
It's a lot of that every day.
That's mainly what that shit is. 90% of their convictions is pleas.
Yeah, it's a lot of that now.
It's pleas. And it's the fear they put in front of you, because they did that shit to me a couple times. I'm just going ahead and take this plea. Because if you take this plea, then we're going to dismiss this. That's what they did because one of my sisters got arrested with me. If you take this plea, we'll drop her charges, this, that, and the other, and then you take this, that, and the other. And she wasn't guilty either way, you know what I'm saying, at all. But that's how they get you. When I was 22, 23, like crap, I got shot and shit. But, you know, it's crazy. Young, dumb, you don't know no better. And if you don't have a parent that know better to kind of help you, because your lawyers, like you know how your lawyers are, can give you bad advice because they don't give a fuck. Even if you pay for it, they still can give you bad advice because they don't give a fuck. So, but I happen to have had an attorney that cared about me, you know, and was been on my boy at the same time. And my boss was my boss. He was my good friend and my boy. So, you know, I was lucky, you know what I'm saying? I jokey back then and shit, so. But it's just fucked up. That's all. But, hey, you got court, you got motions filed. You got a court hearing coming up within the next couple of weeks.
It ain't no date yet, though, is it? It ain't no date.
No, not yet. It's no dates. It's just the motions that's in. So they have 10 days to set a date, I think. But everybody always asks, how you doing? How are you managing? How are you feeling? You know, they all say, a lot of them say, tell you hi. Keep your head up. Stay positive. That you're lucky that you got somebody to stand in your corner on this. Some people like, you need to just don't talk to him at all because he's got a wife. And I'm like, okay, well, she called me.
Hey, man,
she called me and tell me to step down. She got it. Hey, I'm good. Then she can do it. You know what I'm saying? But until then, I'm not about to just have him just hanging by himself out here like for real. This is not an easy thing for a person. And it's not an easy thing for most families because a lot of families fall out. and don't last. You know, and that's what they bank on too. Support. You know, nobody coming in there with no support. Nobody with a voice. And then they like to do things, you know, and try to get away with it. And the only time it come to light is when somebody dies, you know. Because that one boy that died in there that was all those fucked up conditions in his cell, had his family been talking to him on the regular, it could have been known before it went to him dying in there. But they didn't come around till he died, and they was trying to get the money grab. Ooh, now we can sue for millions because he dead. But where were you at before he died? When he was sitting in that filth? Where were you at? How come you wasn't keeping up with his conditions while he was in jail? They probably didn't accept not one call, not one. And then when they got the death notification, oh, now we want to sue. Well, now you want to sue. But his bond was only $200. How come y'all couldn't scrape that up and get him out?
That shit crazy to me.
Yeah, his bond was $200. Y'all didn't love him enough for that, but y'all loved him enough to sue and get all that money, but y'all couldn't get him out of jail or refused to. 10 of y'all couldn't come up with $10 or $50 a piece, anything? Like, for real? Y'all just let him sit his ass in jail and then he died. Now y'all want that money.
That's how I feel. I feel the same way. That's how I feel right now.
Yeah. So I'm happy you. Ooh, here come the money grab. Okay. All right, so let's go and let's sue, because now he's like, for real, but where was you at before?
Yeah.
You don't have not one collect call on your phone. You ain't sent a dime to commissary. You ain't did shit. Something happened or you got your hand out. Now you want to show up.
Now you want to show up.
You have 1 minute remaining.
Okay, love.
You want to show up, which is fucked up. But that's how people move these days. You know what I'm saying? Nobody can think past themselves, and that's the problem. Get off your ass and think about somebody else other than yourself. Because you're not in this world by yourself. But you can be.
That's a new quote you needed. That's a new quote for you right there now.
Mm-hmm. You can be. You can by your damn self. And it was mentioned, somebody was mentioning about your gay son. Is it one of his sons gay? And something. This was last week. They were talking about your gay son. So some people apparently know people that know you or whatever. And I'm like, okay, so what are you talking about? Because they were trying to talk about the fact, and you can call me right back. They were about the, when you was on Tasha K and I'm not no fact, and I was like, that's how old people talk. You gotta understand the generation.
Hey man, that's how we talk. We old.
It's not offensive, and sure it has changed over the decades. But here.
Thank you for using Global Tellink. Please hold. Hello, this is a prepaid call from
William Pryor.
an inmate at the Cobb County Adult Detention Facility.
To accept this call, your current balance is $22.52. This call is from a correction facility and is subject to monitoring and recording.
Thank you for using Global Tellink.
So that's a drill session right there, huh?
That's what it is. It's and then you got half people that are just open to, what's the conversation going to be, and, let me see how she is, and then you got a lot of people that just come in there with the hate because of everything that was said from the bloggers, all the crap and all of this, that, and the other. So they're running with the hate torch, and you got some that just, some of them, it's like 2 or 3 of them that would come in and just say little things, nasty things, or just to the point, things kind of harsh. Again, because I'm very light with the response. I'm not, well, fuck you, and what I'm saying, I'm not doing all of that. They always at the end be like, okay, well, thank you, for answering, and because there'll be a couple of them that go there. But there was one guy last night that was just being Nesto Shirley. They kept telling him to shut up. And he was like, block her. And I'm like, because you can get, like, Molly was blocking me for being too nice on the other girl's channel when I kept saying, I love, and I hope they get back together. And they was like, block. And I'm sitting here like, wow, that's fucked up. How y'all gonna block me because I'm saying, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. So this was before my face or whatever came out. And me and Yvette just saying all kind of nice things, and we hope that him and Shirley get back together, and we love, and they belong together, and da-da-da. And they was like blocked, because they was just, everybody was just hating. She's this, and just hate. So because I wasn't on there hating, it was a problem. And that's why I was like, y'all can't sit here and try to guide the narrative and say, oh, this is just a hate room, or this is just a love room, It's whatever, but just keep it respectful. I didn't get nobody calling me Silly Sonya this week like they normally do. I didn't read the comments yet, so I don't know. But just on the type ones, I didn't get. I may have them dismissed them. I don't know. They go so fast and it's little or whatever. But to my knowledge, I didn't see any, name calling this week. So the Silly Sonya, stupid, simple, whatever. They always want to know about my voice and my tone. Oh, well, you used to sound so like this in the beginning of the phone calls, and now you sound like this. Because I used to always be in the bed after work, just chill, and I don't have to talk like that with him. Like, they just want me, like, how am I supposed to sound? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to be all, oh, hey, and you want me, and all like that. I just talk like we talk, to, like, whatever. It is not and oh, y'all both sound dumb. We don't need to sound like we're not in the business meeting. So we need to use big words.
Hey, man, these folks crazy, man.
Say so, Judge, man. So it's crazy. Like, how are we supposed to sound? Like, reading off the dictionary and no. Well, Shirley's like, Shirley, that's how she talks because that's her job. And that's what she's just adapted over 20 years of talking like that. Just like the Brat. When the Brat first got on the radio, she sounded like how the Brat used to sound back in the rap days. She has turned over. Now she sounds like a professional radio person. Because it's been, 5, 6, 7, 8 years she's been on the radio now. So she has changed over, and that's how she is now. Same thing with everybody that's in radio. Your job is to speak. After so many years, this is your norm now. You're not talking like this. Although sometimes people can, take it there. But for the most part, this is your conversation. When I'm at work, I talk like I need to talk. If I'm in a business meeting, I talk how I need to talk. If I'm just chilling, talking to somebody, and that's just what it is. I'm just talking.
That shit can't get irritating and aggravating. It can't.
Oh, no, it doesn't. It's just, they just pick something just to pick at you. And just, let me fuck with her about this. It's a casual conversation with a person in jail. And we just, we're just friends talking about whatever. So I don't have to sound a certain way. Oh, well, he don't sound like he's smart. That don't mean he don't. He's not college educated in his field.
You say I don't sound smart.
This is right. That's what, he don't sound like he's smart. He doesn't have to sound like he's smart talking to me because we're not talking about anything. We just have a conversation. So if he's in a meeting, I'm sure he know how to switch it up and sound like how he needs to sound. And I told him, my dad did not know how to read. He dropped out of school. He was raised on a farm. He could only read blueprints and certain parts of a contract. He knew everything about construction, and the man made millions. Paid cash for everything. So you can sit there and say, and then you can have a person with a college education and know all the big words, and they ain't got shit in the bank. So don't sit here and say, just because the person sounds a certain way, that puts them in a lower class of somebody that knows how to speak. That's black people criticism, He chooses to talk the way he wants to talk around me, and that's fine with me. I don't give a shit. He don't have to use big words and fancy conversations with me, just in a conversation. We ain't talking about shit. And I'm not going to sound no type of way either, because it's supposed to be just a me, him, and the prosecutor conversation. Not me, him, YouTube, and the prosecutor. Although I don't cuss as much. I curb my cussing. But, yeah.
Well, hey. One thing I say, don't you do you. Don't let anybody change your feet. That's the problem. People worry about how somebody else think about them. And how they think they should be.
Because they're not putting food on my table. And they're not helping the cause. The cause is.
Yeah, they're just in strangers in our own world right now because that's what happens. So can't do nothing about the shit. So can't do shit about it. So. Yeah, ain't nothing you can do about it. For now, for the time being. So people think what they want to think, and like I said, I didn't bash the white or whatever you want to call them people. I didn't bash it like that. I said I respect that. So they do. That ain't got nothing to do with me. so don't put me into that lane like that. That's basically what I was saying. So, yeah, that's basically
But
what I
she
was
was baiting you anyway and trying to push
saying.
the. She was baiting because the thing of it is he tried to make it exciting for the views. Even though she didn't even have to do that because there's so much airplay on this situation. She could have just had a regular conversation and they would have did something. Just on the fact that was the first time he's speaking, first time people seeing, person that everybody's been talking shit on for 6 months, and then now he's talking. The only thing they ever do is hear a me and you conversation, but not a conversation of you talking outside of talking to me, so.
You tell, but I appreciate his reaching out.
No, I got to find him on my chat because I didn't see him last night. But no, I did say that generally. I did say it. I said it. I said that. I said one person did reach out to him and he wanted to say thank you. That meant a lot to him. It made his day. I did say that.
Yeah, it did. It sure did.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's something one day. It did. Yeah.
God, I just tell people just be open to both sides and let the court go fair, because sometimes you can go to trial and they fuck you still, but everything go like it's supposed to go, and it's a fair trial, and that's a fair trial. Oh, we're gonna sit down when he gets found guilty. We'll go to trial and see what his side is. I said, because I can't speak to anything other than what I know of him and his personality. And then what the state is saying, which we all know from everything has gone on and transpired so far with Roswell, they haven't been 100% honest on anything. So they've been twisting and making things and omitting things, and so it can go either way. As far as they could go in there and be fair and be truthful, which they don't, because they only care about a win and not a truth. They don't give a shit is this exactly what happened? Is this 100% the truth? They don't care about that shit. They just want to win. You need to win this case at all costs. Oh, okay. Lie, cheat, steal, gotcha. Right. Sink them. We don't care about people's lives.
That is a scary situation, because I've seen.
And it's so weird. And the way they feel now about her, they should have felt like that in the very beginning. And it's weird that they went the route that they went and went against her, trying to make her, feel some type of way. You get me? And calling her names and saying this, that, and the other about her when she was unknowledgeable about everything. You get me? It was a shock. It was a surprise. Came out of nowhere. But somehow they're trying to blame her. And I felt like y'all need to go back to how y'all was treating her in the beginning and really think about that. Go back before July, how y'all was going in and how y'all was going in. And then think about why things happened the way they happened. Instead of trying to say, oh, no, it's your fault. No. Oh.
That makes no sense.
I said, because you don't know. This is the thing. Oh, well, married men can't have friends. I said, well, my husband was allowed to have friends. I didn't have problems. I had a shitload of friends. Let me tell you what I was telling them. And
there's a lot of them out there.
Let me say this. That's what I'm saying. Most men have friends of opposite sex.
Women
and
do
sometimes
too.
the wives know.
Women
and,
do
right,
too.
they do. Exactly. And sometimes they know and sometimes they don't. But all married men have a female friend. Either she's at work or an old friend or something. So what I said, it was like, oh, well, this is when me and the girl was on last week. And this made so much sense. This is how I think. I said, I feel more comfortable with my husband being friends with his ex than a new bitch. Because if anything was going to jump off or did jump off, it would have happened already. If it's that curiosity with that new person that you got to watch out for. It's not the person that he already dealt with. Because been there, done that, tried that, and we just cool now. We ain't going back. That's cool. I don't have a problem with that. Some women are just so insecure. Keeping a man down like that is not going to stop him, because men cheat with strangers more than they cheat with people they know. And I don't know why these women just so adamant about thinking once he get married, you lock him in and you can't. And the thing with now, the climate now, I would rather my man have female friends than men friends because men are fucking men now. There's so many women walking in on their dude with other men. I would feel so much better if I walked in on him with a woman than him and dick. I can't take that. That is some shit. I do not want a man that shares that with, fucking men in common with me. Fuck that. No. How many women friends you need? Yeah, go. Meet all the women you need. Damn it, you cannot go out with your boy. Fuck that. That's who I would have a problem with.
I'm with you.
That's the problem I would have because man, I just saw that dude said with Rose and talking about this was for my sneaking link, and the girl thought it was for a woman, and he was like, "No, we dating dudes now." And I was like, and he sounded like a sneaky link, right? And this dude, your little side piece, on the low situation.
Okay.
Right. On the low situation. And so he was buying roses for his dude boo. And he sounded like a straight up freak, nigga. Like his whole conversation was like, you know what I'm saying, what's up, this, that, and the other. And I was sitting there like, wow, you would have never thought this dude is getting dick down or dicking somebody down. That's a man. He was like, we dating dudes now. And she just looked at him and he was like, I don't give a fuck. She just looked at me like I was crazy. But yeah, I'm sorry. I would rather my man hang around a bunch of fucking females than with a bunch of dudes. Because dudes is fucking dudes a little too much.
I'm just really confused with that shit. I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm so confused with that shit that to me, God just ain't made no man doing shit like that. I'm just not.
So we wasn't brought up in time. That's the thing, right? And that, when I went to that gay bar, I just felt like they just destroyed us. That's how I looked at the whole room. I just felt like all the chemicals they put in the food and the water, they completely destroyed us. Because this could have been and this is old school speaking and thinking, that could have been healthy boy and girl relationships. But it was girl on girl and boy on boy. The boys had butt jobs and big lips, and the girls was walking around like men with the chest all flat, with the dread braids, and carrying around wallets and beer. And I was just like, what the hell world is this? It was just, for me, because we from the 80s, where boys like girls and girls like boys. And so all of this right here was just like, whoa, like, what the fuck?
That shit crazy, ain't it?
Right. I mean, it's just Twilight Zone. That's how I look at it. It's just Twilight Zone. My son, but they had a course when he went to school in California. And it was to help you understand people's differences and all of that stuff. I think that was the introduction to how they was trying to finesse these kids. So he was telling me about the little movie they had and all of this stuff. I was like, wait, what the fuck, huh? And they just told us to accept people and their differences and said it. I was like, what are they trying to say? And then he was trying to really break it down to me, and I was like, I said, no, it's okay. You respect people and their choices. That's fine. I said, but you don't stick to what I teach you. And you go with nature. You go with nature. And nature built you to be with a woman. So that's who you be with. And he was like, no, I understand that. I'm like, you go with nature. Don't ever go against nature. Don't let these propagandas and all this bullshit out here that these people be trying to put in people's heads. No. You go with nature. Nature is never wrong. You go with nature. And your body was designed to be with a woman. The body was not designed to be with a man. Or we all be walking around, we're here with penis, breasts, and vaginas. If that was the case. It's like, pick an organ and pick a person, No. Your body was built to be with a woman. And that's who you go with nature.
Absolutely.
And that's what he was like, I understand. And I was like, no problem. Now I got to push him on black women because.
You got what?
I got to push him on black women because I don't need him catching cases dating anybody outside his race. But after that black dude went to dating that white chick, because he pulled her finger off of him. It fractured her finger, and that's what they try to find him guilty of. How about she should have never been touching him in the first place? They just eluded that whole part where she had no business putting her hands on him, but because he took her hands off of him, they charged him with assault because he took her hand off of him. I was like, now what in the white craziness is what? That's crazy. She all on him, trying to take his phone, attacking him, and he removes her hand off of him, and he gets charged. Because what, she's supposed to touch him? If that's the case, then a lot of things you can do because you're in a relationship is not a crime. Like, y'all make it make sense. Domestic violence wouldn't be if you're allowed to touch that person, because she was not touching him in a loving manner. She was grabbing him aggressively, trying to take something from him. So he had all rights to defend himself and free himself from her. So he should have never got charged, period. But again, that's how the law works.
Yeah, this is true. You know what, it was crazy. I still can't understand the 150. I still can't understand what that is. I still can't understand it. And you can't see it. I don't understand it.
No. I see it now.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I see that it was lowered. Yeah, but that's still fucking ridiculous. That shit is untouchable.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be $20,000. What are you talking about? And you could see they did things so that it kind of wouldn't backfire on them in the hope that they don't go to trial with that CP case. But at the same time, to the obvious person, why would you put dates that he possessed it while he was in jail? He was in jail. You didn't put the correct dates. Why did you omit the date? Put the date to the download, because y'all had somebody forensically look at everything and break it all down. Why didn't you put the actual date? Because it's going to show the shit is old as hell. I know, I should say, I am. But anyway.
I know what's going on with
yeah, it's just, roll with it. Roll with it. It's crazy. What you eat?
It's still untouchable. Yeah, absolutely right.
It's untouchable. It don't matter. It needs to be reasonable due to your history. If you have zero history. So it should be what the normal bond is.
And I read that.
Yeah.
I read that.
So.
It seems like nobody they can't see reality. They just see what they want to see, don't they?
The thing of it is, when you deal in criminal law, you gotta have common sense, books, and street sense. That's one more thing. Common sense, books, and street sense. Something else. I can't think of the other sense. But anyway, because it's real life. So you gotta have common sense to things. You gotta have street sense to things because it's real life. Book sense because it's law and it's statutes and it's things that you have to intertwine into the situation. So if a lawyer goes in there in criminal law and has no type of common sense or street sense to understand real life situations and how this makes sense and how this doesn't, then they're not going to win it. Because you can't win criminal cases just on statutes and, law books. You got to put some common sense in there. And, like you read what this says, but that doesn't make sense. No way that, and you're trying to tell me that that's a crime, or you're trying to tell me that that's that. You get me? Because you have to put common sense in real life into criminal cases. It's not, and sometimes some civil cases, but definitely all criminal cases, unless it's a crime against, like, a digital crime or, a fraud crime where it's just, he wrote down this that he made $20,000 when he actually made $5,000. That's just strictly books right there. But anytime it's a crime against people or certain things, you got to put common sense and street sense in it. And if you're dealing with an attorney, that's just green. And all I know is, well, the code says this and statute says this, and well, the judge won't allow it. Okay, so does this even make sense to you? I mean, I don't know, I'm from the suburbs and, I don't know anything about that. Yeah, I need somebody else about that life. I need somebody that grew up poor, in the hood, went to law school, and came out a badass attorney. That's what I need. That's why. And somebody that was in the prosecutor's office and turned into a defense attorney. That's even a better person for you. So they know how the other side is played, which an experienced defense attorney does, but a person that was like my attorney, he was in the prosecutor's office first before he became a defense attorney. So he knew how both sides played. And he was from the ghetto. So he had, and his sister was in and out of jail his whole life. So he had like the best experience when it came to being a criminal defense attorney. Cause he like, he knew all sides of everything. So he'd go in there and just kill it. Like, no, this don't make sense. No, that don't make sense. I was actually locked up with his sister Kathy. That was my girl.
What you watching over there?
Girlfriend. I try to watch a lot of 90s. Man, let me tell you, 90s got the best TV. Because all this new shit is just ratchet reality. Everybody's fighting, everybody mad at each other. Or everybody's screwing each other over. It's destroyed, like the food and the TV and the music just destroys everybody. You listen to the music, just, hey, fuck these bitches, fuck these hoes, I'm about to do a drive-by, I'm about to ride down on my ops, these niggas need to be dead, and then you watch TV and they all fighting and killing and backstabbing. So it's like, let me go back, rewind, I'm going to listen to some 90s music, 90s TV, where it was just black people that spoke, and just moved with intelligence. And it was, you know what I'm saying? Just not all of this ratchetness. Shit is crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's
I'm so glad I was young
yeah.
in the right era. Man, I'm so glad I was young in the 80s and the 90s. In the early, we had the best, this took 10 years to go by, but our generation had the best way bring up. Not my parents, because they was in the 60s and all of that shit that was going on in the 60s, but I think our generation had it the best.
You think so?
Heck yeah, because the 80s and the 90s was fun. And we're old now, right when the world is turning fucked up. So we're old where it really doesn't really matter. We don't have to be bothered. We can just go be in the house and just, not be bothered and not have to, engage. But our people that are our age think like us. We got a couple of them that's on some shit, but the mentality, is intact, and that's what we deal with. So we're still good. We're still like, my daughter always say this. She wished she was born when I was born, like in that era. She's like, your generation has had, and it was, our generation is the greatest generation of all the generations, I'm going to say. So my parents were going through segregation, all of that stuff, and then now the generation after us, it's all this bullshit. Well, my daughter's generation, that's when it started to go downhill. But then now, my granddaughter's generation is just totally fucked. You don't think so? And we're old, and so it's like, we should be retiring.
Well, I can't really say. Right now, I can't. Where this shit going right now?
Well, we're not talking about their situation, but we're just talking about life in general.
The way life is really going right now, I can't really. You just don't know who to trust. That's what I'm going to say. You just don't know who to trust.
Now, that's true. That's period, though, because I've always had a small circle. I've always kept it very tiny, because you always have people that, for some reason, the one thing with black people, we can't be happy for one another. And if you see one person that looks good or doing better, they just immediately want to hate and tear you down. And that's the sad part. So, and I like to always want to be around my people, but I stay away from a lot of people. Because you can't.
I know I laugh a lot because it's true. If I'm laughing right now, and what you said, I want to come.
It's relatable, and you can't speak on it.
Yeah, that's it. I can't.
It's relatable. You speak on those 40 lines. But yeah, it's just crazy. I mean, so I saw where Tony Rock was going in on Steve Harvey, talking about, who made him?
Who?
Tony Rock, Chris Rock's brother. who made him the relationship specialist, and he had 3 wives, blah, blah, blah. Again, why are you trying to tear this man down? If somebody said he was a relationship specialist in his 60s.
What he got to do with that?
Man, listen, this was just, he was on Instagram saying this shit, just ranting to somebody on a podcast. But again, it's like, why are you hating? If they said, if that's what they put him on the talk show to do in that position, then let him do it. Why are you concerned? Then don't take his advice. All you got to do is not tune in. It's just that simple. Why you got to sit, hate, and talk mad shit on this man when all you have to do is just not tune in? Just like, I wasn't a fan. So what did I do? I never seen his show. I never heard the radio show. Why? I was just never a fan. I didn't like his jokes when he was a comedian. When I used to watch Def Jam. He just was one of the ones I just really didn't take to. So it wasn't a hate thing. He just never made me laugh. So I used to like the other comedians, and that's who careers I followed. And I just left it at that. It wasn't like, ooh, I can't stand blah, 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 blah. It's just that. But then when they put them on YouTube and they was doing all this smear shit, and I didn't realize it was a lot of lies and exaggeration. And I'm just sitting, remember I used to tell you about it? And I used to sit there just listening to believing that shit. Like, oh, he did her so, oh, he's such a bad. And now, seeing how they did this situation, I'm like, oh, these motherfuckers be lying. Like, I really thought that shit was, yeah, it's just, right. That's not him. That's not him. So, yeah, I'm sitting here like, thinking, okay, but these motherfuckers is worse than CNN. And CNN was full of shit. So I was like, these bloggers be lying. So,
yes, they do. Yes, they
these people be lying, making up shit as they go, not realizing you're hurting this person for what? Like, leave the man alone. Quit speaking on him. He got $250 million, or he's probably worth more at this time. He's living large, and I'm sure he's...
You have 1 minute remaining.
And the one thing that stood out was the woman, Effie or whatever fuck her name, they kept talking about his son. Oh, he took the son from Mary. He took the son. But the boy got grown, and he didn't go back home. So if he stole the boy and was so abusive to the boy and was doing all this shit to the boy, when the boy became a man, how come he didn't run back to his mama? He's out there in Dubai with his daddy.
Exactly.
That's confusing. That's confusing. Right. So if all of that shit you was talking was true, he would have went back to his mama when he got of age and got away from the crazy, if you calling him crazy. It's just decent. Right. You're right. I just was like, they need to get off the hate thing. You want to call me tomorrow? I love you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah, short.
It's gonna get better. It's gonna get better.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna get better. Yeah, it's gonna get better. I'm curious to see what Mr. 11 got to say. But,
Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one.